Hi YouTube. I thought I would talk to you today about what brought me into van life. I am in my 2011 Toyota Sienna self-converted mini camper van, and I think my story is a little unusual. So I do the van life part of my life solo, but I'm married. I have 4 kids. I have 2 stepkids. I have 1 daughter-in-law, 2 grandbabies, and 1 almost son-in-law. So 2 of my kids are grown and no longer in the house, but 2 of my kids are still home. And my husband's 2 daughters are also still home. So that means my poor husband has 4 teenage daughters and a menopausal wife to deal with. Poor him. Anyway, when he and I started dating, we were living in different states. So we did long distance dating for several years. And then we did our first year of marriage, long distance marriage. And you know, if that's what you got to do, you got to do. And there's good and bad. We had our ups and downs with that, but eventually my ex was okay with me moving here to North Carolina and taking our 2 daughters with us. But I said that I would make a trip to Texas once a month, and we would stay for about a week or 10 days, something like that. And the girls would get to see their dad. So that's what I've been doing. And my first plan when this all happened was to sell my house, buy another van that was used that I would share the cost of with my parents because they would use it as their second car. They had just gotten rid of their second car. And the condo is where my oldest daughter would live full time. And then when I came to see everyone, I would stay there with her and I would pay half the rent and she would pay half the rent. So that worked out really well for about a year. And then she was ready to move out, to move closer to her job, and also because she'd fallen in love and was going to be getting married. And so I thought, okay, well, what am I going to do now? Because maybe I'll sell the condo. And by then I'd heard of van life and looked into it and did some research online and everything. And I saw the camper vans that were turned into these, from beautiful cargo vans became beautiful houses on wheels. And I was really excited about that idea. And I thought, well, maybe I can sell both of my vans that I own now and get a cargo van and convert it. But my husband wasn't as excited about that idea. He wasn't as sure that was a smart move to sell a condo that is, increasing in value to buy a vehicle, which would be decreasing in value. So I wasn't really sure what I was going to do after I didn't have the condo to share with my oldest daughter. Plus, in the beginning, the reason I had 2 vans was because I had my 1 van at home that I used all the time, just Flower the van that you may have seen in my profile picture. And then I bought the other van, which is now Silver the van, this van, that I left with my parents and used when I would fly into town. After some bad flying experiences, like get stuck in an airport for 18 hours before your next flight finally takes you home bad, and get on a plane that's so rocky that you feel like you're gonna get sick before you land bad, the kinds of trips that made my daughters not want to do it anymore. And they really liked driving better, which I think is funny. It's an 18-hour drive from one house to the other, and they really liked driving, thought it was more fun. Another reason that flying wasn't working for us anymore is because we got a pet bunny. And originally we just were gonna leave the bunny here. My husband's still here, he can take care of him. But since I homeschool my girls, we're home all the time. And our bunny likes for us to be home all the time. And when we're not home all the time, he ends up getting out of his area and being destructive and letting us know that he doesn't like it. So we tried traveling with him, and though most bunnies do not like traveling in a car, our bunny is really a great traveler, and he would much rather be with me wherever I am during the day than to not have to travel and stay home. So now he is my traveling buddy, my traveling bunny. and he's part of the equation when we travel. And so he's got his little van life spot in my van also, and we seem to do good. So now we're driving all the time, and my daughter's wanting to move out of the condo. I got to figure out what I'm going to do. So the van life, risky, buying a whole new vehicle thing was not really working, but I already had 2 minivans. So I started looking into minivan life and found that to be a nice compromise between having a place to stay that was comfortable and not spending a lot of money. So I still was planning to sell the condo, but I was going to use my minivan and just convert it myself. And then COVID hit and things changed again. So I had yet another plan because my daughter and her fiance had both lost work by then and were not in a good living situation and needed to move into the condo. So she's moving back into the condo to get married and live with her husband, and rather than couch surfing and rather than trying to find another situation that would work out, I started building out this van, and it was full on then. I needed it to stay in before I went back to Texas again. So I built a bed, got some advice from my brother who knows how to build things, and I built a bed and built a kitchen in the back, and turned out really well, even though this is my first time to ever build anything. But I had a vision for it, and I really liked the way it turned out. And then of course I also had to have some cool decorations and flowers and lights, and my window reflectics are covered in fabrics that I find fun, and just made it a little more exciting. I did it. I got it ready, and we took it on a family camping trip, and the kitchen's in the back, and it worked great. And we brought tents for the kids, and my husband and I slept in this bed, and it was comfortable. It's about the size of a full-size bed when it's completely folded out, and you're able to use these 3 back seats to drive in when it's folded up. So we still have 5 seat belts in the car, which is nice for being a mom and needing to use it as a vehicle sometimes, and then other times needing to use it as my my bedroom. So it's worked out really nicely. But almost right after I built it out and we did our camping trip, it was great. Then I did my city camping. It wasn't quite as great because in order to cook, I have to get out of the car and go around to the back. And while that's great at a campground, you want everything open anyway. If you're trying to be stealth, that's not so great. So if I'm sleeping in a parking lot or in front of my parents' house or somewhere in the city, then I'm not really wanting to get out of my car before I can make coffee. Or if I want to cook a healthy meal for myself and I'm in a Walmart parking lot, that isn't going to work as well. So my other van, which was just going to be my tote around the kids and use it for my car van, I'm now looking at it and thinking, I could do this differently and it would work better in the city. So then we have this camper van that's great for camping, but then I make out the other van to be where it only has, instead of a double bed, it has just a single, just for me. And then instead of having the kitchen in the back, have it right here on the side so that I could actually cook. I have a max fan in here. I can, exhaust out and do that pretty safely. Plus all the windows open, and I have rain guards so I can crack them and you can't even tell that they're open. So it's made for a nice breeze to come through here, and it should work fine to cook. So my next adventure is to finish out my other van in a way that I can still have 6 passengers, because when our whole family goes together somewhere, we need 6 seats, and a bed for myself that can be, converted into a bed, and a kitchen. So I'm the ideas are going around, and I will try to film that and do a build series and include y'all in that journey. But for right now, this camper van's working great. I just I have to be a little more careful where I want to get out and use the kitchen and all of that. But I'll give you a tour, and I hope you like it. The other thing that I find very exciting is actually having my bed with me wherever I go. I suffer from Sjogren's syndrome, which is an autoimmune disease, and it makes me tired all the time. Every afternoon I have to lay down for usually several hours. And so, you know, being able to do that anywhere, like if my kids and I go someplace and they're not ready to leave, but I've had it, I can actually go lay down, and that's awesome. So I hope you like my reason for van life, my 1 week a month van life. So I have quarter of my year van life, and the rest of the time sticks and bricks with my husband. But it's been a really interesting journey, and I hope y'all will come with me. Please subscribe to my channel, like this video if you got anything out of it, and if you have any questions about converting a minivan, my particular build, Sjogren's, traveling with kids, combined families. I also have children with diabetes, eczema, asthma, autism. So I've got a lot of things I could have conversations about. Give me a comment below and I will try to answer all of them. Thank you for watching. Bye.